All right, guys. A very good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me and see my screen? I think I had a little connection issue here. Is the sound okay? Yeah, I'm guessing since you guys are saying yes. Okay, good. So the room is filling up quite quickly. I think there's more people coming in as we spend another couple of minutes. So where is everyone from today? And how many of you guys were here last time? Hi, Boyke. Okay, anyone new here today? Like first time at my webinars. Pip Digger, Mr. Mark, okay. See Bhutan, sunny England. Okay. Madrid, there we go. Okay, good. So today what we're going to be discussing basically is preparation of what it takes to prepare as a trader. What does a trader do before he sits at his desk? Okay, so let me pull this up here. Okay, so what are some of the practices you guys use? There must be a routine, right? Or is everyone just gambling? There must be some sort of routine, like when you wake up and you sit on your trading desk, or you come home from work and you sit on your trading desk. What do you do first? Okay, so let's hear some of your experiences. What do people do? Whether it's online or offline, what are your experiences? Supply and demand, okay. Look at the news, okay, that's a very good start. Check currency strength, the flow of the market, okay. Identify support and resistance, look at potential risk events, good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a little routine that I go through every morning when I sit down, and then after that, it's pretty much in my head. I know what needs to be done today, and that's it. There is no guesswork after that. Okay, last minute I'll change everything that I decided. There's none of that stuff. Remember, the word trader is different. In fact, opposite word gambler. Okay, there's a big difference. They both attend the same markets. One wins, the other one loses. Okay, so now routine. First things first. Wake up in the morning. I want to see if today is a day I can trade. Now, what does that even mean? It all depends, first of all, of what is your appetite of trading. You need to first know yourself at the very beginning. So whether you want to look at this very psychologically of what kind of person am I? How do I trade? Am I aggressive? Am I patient? Am I conservative? Do I want 20 trades in a day? Or I'm happy with one trade in a week, but I want to make sure that one is really good. What type of person are you? So it all depends on that. And anyone answering, if anyone's answering, I like to do both. That can be quite dangerous because then you're going all over the place and winning might not be a good option. So is the sound okay for everyone? I'll turn off the sound and turn it back on. Maybe that might work. Okay, I just returned on the sound again. Maybe that would work. So can I get it clear from anyone? Yeah, okay, good. So it looks like the sound is good. All right, so the routine. Okay, so the routine. So When I wake up in the morning, first things I want to do is I usually go on to the charts, or not the charts, the calendars. Now, whether you use FX Street's calendars or you use Forex Factory's calendars or any third-party website, I look at the calendars and I tend to put my focus around how many reports are there today. Okay, that gives me a sense of not the direction. I can care less at this point, but activity. There is people valid, not just small people like me and any other guy sitting behind his computer, but people in suits, okay? People at a bank, people at institutions, they're there as well. So I can care less what the next person that looks like me is doing. What I care is what are the big boys doing? That is my ultra confined focus, is I want to know what they're doing because I have a firm believing that they run the markets and no one else does. Okay, so I generally tend to follow that process. So first of all, looking for activity. Where is the activity coming from? Okay, then the next thing. Once I find out, okay, it looks like today I see like 7 red reports, for example. Let me open up, for example, really quick, Forex Factory. If it loads, sorry, I might need a VPN because I'm out in China right now. Well, let's see if it loads. If it doesn't load, I'll try with the FX Street side. Yeah, I guess it's not loading here. So, okay, but everyone understands what I mean by red reports, right? Red reports are the ones that, are assumed to make more movement in the market. Okay. Everyone still with me? Okay, good. Okay, so once that is clear, that there are reports, I then move on to the charts, okay? And when I move on to the charts, I'm looking for where is the flow of money? Is the flow of money on euro? Is the flow of money on Aussie? Is it in yen? Where is the flow of money? Now, when I say flow, it can mean anywhere, up or down. But I want to know, are people putting money into a currency or extremely pulling out of it? Because that creates movement. And that's what I want. I don't want to get into a trade and then just sit there for 20 days on end waiting for my trade to work and my fingers are. I want to get in a trade and I want to know where it's headed and I want to win and I want to win often. Okay, so make that a habit. Routine is the ultimate trading. You must first master a routine. Okay, what is it that you do? You need to start writing these things down. First thing that you're gonna do. I don't know whether you do stuff offline also. Maybe you want to get up and do some yoga, clear out the head, go out running or something, empty the mind and begin fresh. Okay. No nonsense. I never watch the news in the morning. My TV is always off until my trading day is over. Okay. Anything that goes on in the TV, it's not for me. How do we do that? Well, there's usually a red button on the remote where you can turn off the TV. But I'm guessing you're asking how do we do other stuff. But if you're referring to where is the money flow, let's get into that. So in terms of where the flow of money is, we're talking about now. We're getting into correlation, right? There's a number of ways correlation is taught on the internet. Everyone has their own style of saying it. Of course, I have my own style, the way I was taught, which is different. And I was taught from my mentor in a whole different way. So correlation happens in a certain unique aspect. Now, when I open, for example, where's my mouse? Oh, come on. Give me a moment. Let me just refresh this page so I can get some charts. Here, I'll just open up this thing here. Okay, so when can everyone see my trade station charts? Everything is in black and red and green, yeah? Okay, So I'm going to just open up one of these so you guys can see it, and I'll maximize it so it's visible. Okay, let me know when it comes up. For those of you who don't have it, I'll give it another second or two. And I've widened it up a little bit. Okay, now looking at this screen here, okay, you just woke up out of bed or you just came home tired, you did whatever you had to do, your yoga, your dinner, or whatever you had to do. Now you're sitting at your desk, you open up your screen and you see this. Okay, first thing that goes on into a person's mind is this an up or is this a down? It's trying to figure it out. This is the one thing you want to stay away from is, how do I get in? If that's going to be your second or third step in your routine, slow it down. Because how do I get in is going to be the last part. Okay, right now it's just, what are we doing? Which way are we headed? How do we know that's the correct way? Right? How many of you guys in this room right now can say with a certainty that when I pick a direction and I research it, I'm 90% correct? Can I get some yeses or nos? Hey, Matthew, you're saying yes. Matthew's a member of us at Forex Watchers. Okay. No, okay. So that needs to be first perfected. Perfected to a point where today it's like when you do your research, you need to be like, today, Aussie down. I don't care how many times it's going up. In my trading skills, I'm looking to sell anything that comes up. Okay? That's the extent you need to do it. There's 3 levels of trading. The absolute first thing necessary is to identify direction. The secondary thing is to identify timing, when to get into that direction. And then the third thing that is ultra critical, took me a very long time to overcome, is the money management control. Okay? If you control it really well, percentages are crazy. They're crazy. We're not talking about, you know, everyone's dream of, okay, I'll double my money every month. We're talking about I can double my money today. Okay? This works together with risk to rewards and stuff like that. Now, I'm not here trying to say that you should be going out doubling your money every day. No, slow it down again. You know, so, okay, so when you see the screen, okay, some guesses. What comes to your mind? Okay, we got a WTF there. Choppy range. Okay. Hardy, Alex Bucks, will this be recorded? I'm pretty sure FX Group will have this recorded. Range, need a bigger picture, confusion by, no. So from all of that bigger picture or not, right now, what does it look like? See, the word buy and the word sell to me means you pick the direction and you're going there. How do we know the direction yet? Okay. And saying no trend, Pierre says sell. Okay, so you can see that there is a sense of confusion here in terms of direction, right? So I need you guys to realize this moment and tell yourselves, I need to first master directions. Let's stop trading for a while and focus on direction. Let's get that right first. Okay? So let's talk about that right now. Now, from what I see here earlier, well, can you guys explain to me what is an uptrend? Higher high, higher low. What is a downtrend? Okay, Imad, series of higher highs, higher lows. Good. That's also a very good answer. Opposite, right? Boyke, yeah, lower high, lower low. Everything goes the inverse, right? What's a range? What is a range? Okay, now equal higher highs, higher lows. Okay, so Let me ask a certain question now. If I do this, can I say this is a range? Okay, we have some yeses, yeses, yeses. Okay, if I do this, can I say this is a range? So which one is it? Which one is it? Which one are we working with? So this is what I've been noticing a lot in a lot of my webinars is the key fundamentals are all taught incorrectly on the internet. And that's why it's a little bit scary when I have new members coming in. It's like, okay, let's go over the ultra basics again, you know? And this is why I wanted to point this out in a simplistic way to be like, what's the real answer? Are we in a trending format? Are we in a range? What type of range? This chart right now represents Aussie yen on the 240, which is a 4 hours, right? So on a 4 hours, are we looking at a range at this scale and looking at a range in a smaller scale? So that comes back to define, what are you trying to do? Okay, where are you trying to head? All right. How many of your charts look this wide when you sit down and you open up a pair to analyze it? Who goes full screen? How many of you guys go full screen when you open up a chart? Okay, good, good, good. How many of you guys, your screens are like this? Okay, when your screens are small, you won't get much of a picture. You won't know what's happening. Something that looks like a current downtrend may be part of just an overall uptrend. Okay, so let's get back to that chart again. Let me open it back up. Okay. Element in this is not buy, not sell, none of that stuff immediately, because the focus always tends to go here, right? Because obviously recently the markets came down hard, so we obviously want to sell, or it's come down so hard, it's near the bottom, looks like it's an uptrend line, so maybe we need to buy it. Okay, well, which one is it, right? So let's answer some of these questions right now, okay? Because this is the direction part of the routine. I'm gonna just touch base on this for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna step to the next part of the routine. So when you're looking at directions, there's only 3 possible states that you can be dealing with. You know, one of the states can be uptrend, the other state can be downtrend, and the other state is eitherwise neutral, sideways, or range, or a consolidation, right? All the last few that I said, they're all one thing. Okay? All right. So let's take a look. If I draw a trend line, how a trend line? Do I go like this? Is that correct? Yes, no, yes, can be. Yeah, okay. So again, you can see there's a little bit of confusion here, right? No one's here saying it's an uptrend for sure, I put my life on it. You know, there's uncertainty just in simple things like a trend line or a range. So here is what a range would look like. Okay, let's say in the current market right now, I want you to draw me a uptrend line. Would you be doing this? Right? And then let's say another day passes by and then the market just plummets right here. It just plummets like that. Then what would we say what happened? What does that mean? What do we say what happened? Okay, it broke the trend, retrace, correction, broken the uptrend. Okay, so the trend is broken, right? But how many of you guys will be like, oh no, the trend line is a downtrend. It's like that. Focus on what I just did and now re-answer my previous question. How do I draw an uptrend line? So the uptrend line that we draw is initially like this until it's broken. Because the first people, they don't see the future and be like, oh, that's the trend line. Obviously not. They're dealing with trend line broke. Okay, that's what they're dealing with, which means people are starting to sell. Okay, if not people are starting to sell, we went from an uptrend to a sell state. From a sell state, we were going down, 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 and then we recovered back up. How far up did we go? Well, who are we going up to challenge? We went up to challenge our last pullback here. We couldn't get any higher. Okay, double top. When it came back down, we're coming down to challenge who? These fellas. Well, we didn't go beyond them either. Okay, and then it goes up again. Well, going up to where? To challenge the same guy. And then coming down to where? To challenge the same guy. So if I were to draw my trend line like this, my range of this thing like that, because that's the newest information that we have for someone who's just watched it from here to here, saying that, well, we haven't gotten anywhere. We haven't gotten anywhere. So anyone looking in a range, how do we trade? What do we do in a range? What are the trading? What is it? There you go. Sorry, I don't know how to put it into words. Buy low, sell high. You wanna buy close to the bottom, right? And you want to sell as close to the top as possible. Simple support and resistance logic. You don't want to be selling where the buyers are sitting. You don't want to be buying where the sellers are sitting, right? So having that said, when we looked at this left to right and we determined, so that's the range. Okay, now that we determined that's the range, anyone looking at this part saying this is a range is going to come into trouble, because he's going to try to sell this in the middle of the range. Is that making sense? Do we know where the real answer is now? Yeah? So once you do this, have we got anywhere when this little range happened? Did we reach anywhere? Higher, lower? Did we go anywhere? We were coming back down. When we came down, we came down to challenge this guy. And when we're going up to challenge this guy. Nothing happened, extended out. Nothing happened, extended out. So, what is the state of Aussie yen in the current market? Okay, so it's in a range. Now that you know it is in a range, what direction are you looking to trade this if you had to trade it? Okay, the word is if you had to trade it, right? It's a buy. We don't want to be selling this. We're too low. Every time price comes there, it runs away. We want to be closer to buyers here. We want to see any sort of signs that says buyer and start preparing for longs. Let's assume I'm looking at Aussie USD says range also. If Aussie CAD says range also. If Aussie New Zealand says range also. What does that mean for Aussie? What does that mean for the group of Aussie, the entire Australian currency? What does that mean? They're in a range. No one's interested. No one cares. Right? Or you can say sleeping, right? So do I want to put all my efforts into finding something Aussie? No. Okay, so that makes 7 pairs off my list. Aussie USD, Aussie New Zealand, Aussie Yen, everything Aussie gets scratched off my list. Phew, life a little bit easier. You move on to the next pair. Do the same thing. You come out with a handful of things where you're like, today I seem to be want to focus my efforts onto Euro and New Zealand, for example. And then you go in and you put in your mind and your soul into just Euro and New Zealand, and then stop hopping around, looking at forums and trying to figure it out according to what other people are saying. Do it yourself. Okay? So as we know from right now, I will tell you now, if you want my analysis on this, is majority of the people that I encounter online have the fundamental basics wrong. The absolute basics all wrong. So we really need to put a lot more focus on that. Just because it sounds easy doesn't mean it is. You need to master it. Okay, so now coming back to discuss the routine. So the first routine, what's the first routine? You guys remember? Oh, no one's sleeping, right? What's the first routine? Yeah, check if the day is active. Right? What's the next routine? Okay, I'm telling you guys my routine right now. Boyke, my mentor, is offline. He doesn't reveal himself online. He's one of those, if I make money, then why teach it? So he's a firm believer of that. Yeah, he stays out. He stays out of the picture. Okay, how do you check whether the day is active? Well, you have to see how many red reports there are. Okay, if there's a lot of reports, then you know the days are active. Okay, next thing, what is the secondary thing that you do? Direction, right? Like Anne said, Anne FX, direction. Okay, find out where the money is. Okay, because this is a big boys game, and we're just little participants. Right? So we want to be part with the big boys. So now, the next process, once you find out, let's say, assuming at this point, let's assume majority of the Australian pair currencies are saying sell. They're saying Australian dollar is weak. Can I sell my Aussie yen right now? No. What's the game plan? What's the game plan? Explain it to me. What do you think the game plan might be? Okay. Here's another big problem here. Okay. So majority of you guys are saying wait for the break and sell below. No, that's the wrong answer. This right here is a hope. Okay, this area below support is hope. It's basically saying if that happens, I'm happy. That's like predicting the future kind of thing. But the better thing to do is, if it can get up closer to the top again, I'd love to sell that today. Does that make sense? Right? So there is going to be a time in the day, if Australian dollar is weak, it doesn't mean it's going to be going down for like 5 years. It means it's just weak for today. It's going to have some retracements in it. It's not just going to be red bars like, it's not just going to have like massive red bars all over your screen, but it has to do some sort of retrace. Maybe it'll get up to here, come near the top and then come down, and it may collapse. It may, but do we care if it collapses or not? We know some buyers here might give me trouble. Why not just take the profit right there? So anyone thinking at this point, I'm going to buy it because I understood the state of the market. I'm going to buy it. Okay, you can. You can. But for me, it's like I'm with the big boys. Let all the buyers do their last attempt, and then we'll hit it. Okay? So it is a decision you have to make at that point is who do I want to be with? What direction do I want to be with? And why? So technical is one part, right? We figured out the technicals after we did the fundamentals, which is where's the money? Then we came to the technical, which way? What's it doing now? And then because of the fundamentals, we now then know we're preparing for today to happen like this. Right? And then we start preparing for that accordingly. Then you know, okay, I know how my day looks like today. Well, it needs time to get up there, right? At least 2 candles. 2 candles means 8 hours. I'm free for 8 hours. No headache, no problem, nothing. I can relax. But if I'm here, keep fingering the trade, okay, come on, let me buy it on the way up, then let me sell it on the way down, and let me make all the money in between also, then you've never made a profit in life, you know, because you're too anxious to make a profit for the first time. You need to slow it down, slow it down. Okay, I'm going to start repeating this in all my webinars. Slow it down. You know, leave the passion at the desk. I know you want to make money, but you will. But the money in this market, unfortunately, comes with patience. This is the one industry where if you're really okay, so there's some questions here. If there's a heavy impact event or many news for the same currency, sir, do you prefer to trade for that currency pair? Yeah, sure, why not? But I don't. Here's one. I don't. There's a news event. Maybe I let the news play out. Here's an example. Let's say I'm looking that, okay, Aussie is weak for today, right? I know technically it's in a range. My game plan is to sell it. But the market right now is down here. And I'm like, oh, there's a news coming up. What are the only 2 options the news can do? Tell me, everybody, what are the 2 things the news can do? Up or down? If it goes up, do we not feel happy that it's coming up higher to where we want it to go? Maybe from up there. If it goes down, do we not treat it like, oh, maybe it's a breakout? I'll catch it on the underside then. Why trade the news when the news can be your decision maker? Let the news do it, and then you're like, oh, thank you very much. Let's take all that money now. Make sense? So slow it down, calm it down. Just because a candle moves quickly doesn't mean, you know, get all the money out of the bank. We got to get into this trade. Slow it down, slow it down. Okay, so routine, checkup, step number 1. What's step number 1? Red reports, good. Activity in the market, good. Step number 2. Yes, and coffee. Coffee is good. The flow, the direction, yeah. All right, step number 3. Yeah, timing, you know, game plan. What am I going to do? From where? You know? So if you then, in step 2, you figured out what was the range, and then you also figured out in earlier in step 2 that Aussie is weak, then now you're like, let me cross-reference that with the red reports. There is nothing Aussie today? Okay. Then I just needed to come up away from the bottom so I can attempt to sell. Okay? Because I'm not going to sell in the face of the buyers. There's no way. That's just answer that question for me. You guys just said buy from the bottoms, sell from the tops. So I'm trying to listen to you guys, okay? I will not sell it at the bottom. Okay, so then you have a game plan. Now, what do you do with the game plan? If we know that we're supposed to sell from up here, Do we get in and just buy it? Do we buy it on the way up? No, no, we can't, because that is a gamble. We want to be on the side that has a higher probability of winning always. Okay, so if there is a news, the news might play out and it might help you, whether it goes higher or it goes lower, and so on and so forth. Okay, then step number 4. Once that happens, I go into well, I can show you one of the pages I use. Again, I don't know if it's going to load because of my VPN here. Let's try it. Let's try it. It's a position size calculator. I go in and oh, there we go. So it's as simple as here, position size calculator here. I don't endorse this website or anything. I just found it. If you guys find a better one, tell me, of course. It's asking you, how do you calculate your pips risk? I put in my pip amount. I put in how much is my stop loss. Let's say my stop loss is 30 pips, because I figured out that, okay, I'm going to be selling soon on my Aussie yen, and I have a 30 pip stop loss from what I see. Okay, currency is in the US dollar. And how much risk am I doing? Now many people will say, 1%, 2%, this and that. Fair enough, that sounds all nice and beautiful. But in a book, if you got a $500 account and you want to trade 1% or 2%, then Jesus, man, it's don't trade, go get a job. You'll make more money faster there. So I do with what I call by fixed money risk. Okay, I don't recommend it. This is my personal opinion. Okay, I do fixed money risk. Okay, whatever the amount is, I take a really small amount and I'm like, okay, I want to risk at all times no more than $2,000, for example. Okay, and then I choose the currency pair and I calculate the position size. So then it tells me how many units I need to trade or how many lots. And then if I have a loss, then I lose only $2,000. And then the next trade, $2,000. Next trade, $2,000. But if I win, then it's a risk to reward game. It's how much are you risking to make how much? Right? So if on this Aussie yen, you got a price up here. If you got a price up here, and where's your target from here? Where are you headed? Where's your target if you enter here? Down where? To the bottom of the range. And why the bottom of the range? Okay, because there's buyers there. So now imagine this. The market goes up here. You find a nice spot and you're like, I'm going to sell it. My target is here. It just comes here, and then suddenly it goes higher. It's what does that mean now? Now let's say it sets up again for a sell. You can try it again, right? And this time, where are you headed? Same spot. Same area down here. But if it makes it this time, you have higher risk to reward. The thing is, most people, the moment they hit a stop loss, they give up on the trade, thinking that, oh, it's too late, it's gone, I never got in, so it's over. No, it can give you a second chance. It can give you a better chance. But do you have the patience to wait for it to get up to here, which can be another 8 hours later or 16 hours? Will you even remember this trade 16 hours later? That requires routine. That requires you to note everything down in a little notebook or in a little notepad on your computer to keep track of what you like and how often you need to monitor it. And if it's a stop loss, is it a stop loss because it went to your profit without you? Or is it because it's trying to give you a better price? Answer that question, and then you will know. All right. Any last minute questions here? I hope today was quite useful to understand a routine. Any questions? Do you use any indicators to supplement your trading rationale? No, I try to avoid all indicators. I have some MAs plotted on here, but that's just, visual help. That's all. Yes, this is recorded from what I heard from FX Street earlier. It'll be available probably today or maximum tomorrow, I think. Okay, Boyke, yeah, sure. We can discuss trending pairs next time. No problem at all. Any more resources you recommend for us? Well, if I may, join Forex Watchers. Join Forex Watchers. That's all I can say. But we're booked out right now, but we do always take in a few seats per month. So, okay. Navin, would you trade upwards now or wait to go short later only? We answered that question, but to answer it again, wait to go short, if that was the answer. Okay. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, FX Street, for having me here again. And thank you very much, everyone, for attending. You guys are the best. I will see you again next month, same time, most likely, and the recording will be available. Thank you so much, guys. Take care and have a wonderful night.